This is my E100. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My E100 is my best friend, I must master it, and I must master my life. Oh my god, I am so thrilled to finally have this thing in my garage, and it's not given by Gaijin, it's not a test drive, it's not a fluke, it's not somebody else's account, it's actually happened. I can't believe it. Now, for those of you wondering how I got the E100 and the HE162A1, the answer is hidden in the 5 vs 5 tournament that was held over the past week. I was in front of a very important decision. Either take the E100 and don't receive the HE162, or take the HE162 and attempt to get the E100 in any upcoming events such as the current 1v1s or the upcoming, possibly to happen, the YouTuber Cup. But then I thought, hold on, you can choose one of the rewards for winning one of the tournaments. There's no rules about not being able to participate in multiple tournaments. So, Senpai Orange went and played arcade at 3 in the morning and actually ended up higher on the arcade leaderboards than he did in the realistic. I was 57th in arcade, I was 80th in RB. So in all theory, I don't actually know which game mode I got the E100 from. It could be from arcade, so it's happened, you know. Shit happens, and today is the good type of shit. Now, obviously, we're not here to talk about the E100, albeit I just have. Give you a bit of a rundown. I will make a review on the tank. It will be the third installment of the mouse series, so this will be the thickest tank review yet. I've put a talisman on it, as I did on the HE162, and I'll be playing them in conjunction to unlock the Begleitpanzer 75. 57. Ah, Jesus Christ. The German, you see, the Germans turn around numbers. In English, you say 57. Germans literally say 750. But it is what it is. Still makes certain sense, I guess. Now, what you want to really talk about today is the French tech tree. This was the kind of primary, twist around the patch. And obviously, what you're most likely interested in. Here's what I've done. I'm going to give you a rundown. This is day 2 and a half maybe, of the progress. I'm not very involved in this one. It's not been as smooth as I was expecting it to be, but nonetheless, the rundown was something like this. I first took about 1,000 golden eagles and just unlocked everything in tier 1 and 2. And the reason for that is because there's 2 ways to go around this. Either you just play the narwhal, and you, in like one game, with the ×5 would have unlocked the entire tech tree, but the matchmaker is extremely full here. And playing 5.7 with anything but maybe the PB4Y has been extremely slow because you just simply can't get matches. So 10-minute queue time for a 10-minute game just isn't worth the time. The other thing to do is obviously just start at the reserves and then work your way down. Effective if you want to slowly spade everything as you go, but ineffective because, again, everybody's playing low tiers and 5.7. So you don't want to play the matchmaker where everybody else is playing because you're going to get slow queue time. So what I did was convert the whole thing down, and I played the Leo, the MB, the A35, and the SB2C. I just went through the spading process on some of these bombers at mid-tier, so between tier 2 and tier 3. And then I went through kind of a leisureful spade of the, well, not-so-French planes, unfortunately, the Hellcats and the King Cobra. King Cobra being so far one of my favorite planes in this tech tree. Followed by, obviously, the A35B. This thing is, I'm going to call it semi-French, although it isn't. So far, there's been nothing in this tech tree that's actually French that I've enjoyed. The D520 was decent to play. I actually had one quite nice game, the very last game that I played, but it's a plane I won't be returning back to. The machine guns, the Hispano 404, just something not very attractive. The VB10C, we played one game on stream. It's an extremely weird plane. Decent top speed, but everything else just kind of falls short, so we'll see if the VV10-02 gets a bit better, but these 2 planes might be just those that get kind of skipped over. So what I've done is I went through the fighter line, I put a talisman on the Bearcat, I used the Bearcat to unlock the privateer, put a talisman on that, and I've been using the conjunction of the 2 to kind of research the 84. Now for the Votor, and then later for the VB10. I'm going to see how I progress through jets. I'm thinking I'm going to try to find 1 or 2, maybe 3 that I enjoy a lot, put a talisman on those and use them to grind with. But in general, I think most of this last 5 is going to be happening on stream, so if you're going to tune in for the next, probably good old 5 to 7 days, I think, because I'm going to take my time with this. I thought I was going to contend with my Italian tree respading thingy, because that was a time where I did it in 4 days, and I figured maybe I'll break my old record, but with the E100, we're probably going to be mixing this up. So on stream, I'll be playing a little bit of the E100, so 7-7 Germans. I'll play a couple of matches in, I believe, 6.7 or 7.0, 7.0, 6.0 Japanese, the Hori prototype to unlock the new one, the production model. And obviously, we're doing some of the jet gameplay, because I think most of you guys have been lacking the RRB gameplay, and I think it's time to give it out to you guys. So, if you're playing the French sector right now, or if you're asking, you know, we're kind of going through the process of maybe should I buy it, because you have to buy your way into it, it's not free, it's not unlocked yet, you can do these, I think they're these achievements. If you go to your achievements tab, you'll find it under French aircraft, closed beta testing. Now, these are extremely easy to do. It's just winning 5 missions every day with 65 battle activity. If you just play the game casually, you don't have to look at this. For me, I didn't look, and it's still unlocking. Obviously, I don't need them, but for the sake of the argument, you can unlock them for free. At the moment, the French territory has nothing particularly unique to offer. What it really is an extension of the American territory. It finds the same matchmaker, it has the same battle ratings. The only real thing that's differing is obviously if you want to get your hands on something like an MB157, nothing really unique to be honest. I'll say the VB10 Mark II just purely because the firepower is going to be a worthy plane to fly, and then obviously the jets depending on what you're after. But the early tier, between 1 and 3, there's really nothing unique there, so you know, if this is your goal, don't go for it. The Narwhal is a decent plane. You've got MG151s, 3 of those on each side, so 6 in total. You know, good firepower, but utterly over-tiered for 5.7, really kind of hard to use. And obviously in the current spam with the matchmaker, I don't see much point to it. It reminds me of the Wyvern, and I think, as the Wyvern is, it's a plane that's kind of cumbersome in air battles, and then it gets a lot better in ground forces. So until French tanks are out, I don't see much of a point really putting too much effort into the French territory. So, you know, until French tanks are released, I don't see much of a point going after this ones, but if you are looking to get into the jets, and it's something that you want to do as fast as possible, there are quite a few easy ways to progress through. Again, if you play the Narwhal, get yourself a Talisman, one of these tier 4 props, really anyone that you prefer, grind your way to the jets that you want to fly out, and you should be there. Pretty easy job. Now, to cover over the rest of the patch, obviously I'm going through the spading process. I've already finished off the Americans. The Germans, 2 new vehicles added, so the HE160 and the E100. Russians are done, British are done. Japanese, like I've mentioned, I have to go through the Hori production, so I'll be using the 6.0 battle rating for that. And then we spade this thing, and we're done. So I'm going to give it an estimation of about, well, probably the remainder of the month. So, as for content, I've recently had some problems with Shadowplay. It's been missing some of the recordings. Essentially, I can't record. I'll finish a game. It's a beautiful game. I press F10 to save the last 20 minutes, and it just kills the game for me. Besides the fact, I've had a reasonably decent idea to start making videos with live recordings from the stream, meaning that I take clips when I want to say something that it's more like thought. That's really it for the video. I just want to give you a bit of a quick rundown of what's going on, and yeah, E100s. I'm happy, dude. Yeah, boy.